Harry's Wife, Part 104.24. Beyonce on Archetypes. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Well, after very little happening, Harry's Wife finally provided Archetypes, which, despite being heralded as a top podcast, has left most of the world going, what a load of self-indulgent bollocks. The production, which originally would have caused many at Spotify to think, are we actually going to get anything for our money, finally appeared in the last couple of months and has produced a treat of Harry's wife basically going through a checklist of things that she's been called and then saying how these things are wrong and sometimes aren't actually that bad a thing. Nobody's fooled. Everybody sees it as a complete vehicle for talking about herself. Indeed, that has been demonstrated where in many instances the guests have been very fortunate to get a word in edgeways. We've been treated to various beige revelations about her life, telling us what she does in the morning, telling us what she does with her husband, and essentially boring everybody with her fridge magnet platitudes. Her range of guests have not been the most inspiring, notwithstanding the fact that some rather famous people have been involved, Serena Williams, Paris Hilton, and Mariah Carey. Her programme, of course, failed to actually draw anything meaningful from them, but instead was all shaped around what she wanted to talk about, rather than perhaps helping us learn more about those individuals, and it amounted to a wasted opportunity. That's hardly a surprise, given the fact that she's an awful interviewer, because she fails the first rule of interviewing: make it about your guest, not about yourself. Of course, as a mid-range narcissist, she can't achieve that. Her narcissism is limited in that regard and causes her to engage in the self-promotion and self-obsessed behaviour that we've witnessed many, many times. It's been reported, of course, that she wanted Reese Witherspoon to appear, but she was given a round F you, not coming on that shit show. Out of loyalty, of course, to the Princess of Wales. There's also been reports that other famous guests have been touted, but weren't interested, and somehow that email got lost in the post. Of course, one individual that Harry's wife would absolutely love to have on Archetypes, the bizarrely named programme, which should be called Stereotypes, because she doesn't know the difference between stereotypes and archetypes and seems to have a fascination with anything that has arch in the title, even though it's pronounced Archetypes. It led to she would want Beyonce. Yes, she of pop stardom, shaking her booty and belting out hits with her rather impressive lungs, and I'm talking about her lungs, you perverts. She is a global phenomenon. Part of Destiny's Child, and now a multi-million selling solo artist in her own right. Known around the world for infectious hits that many people enjoy. And Beyonce, of course, is one of the world's best-selling recording artists, and she sold over 200 million records worldwide. She had her success in the 2000s recognised by the Recording Industry Association of America. She's the first solo artist to have their first 7 studio albums debut at number 1 on the Billboard 200. She's won 28 Grammy Awards, 26 MTV Video Music Awards, 24 NAACP Image Awards, 31 BET Awards, and 17 Soul Train Music Awards, all of which are more than any other singer. In 2014, Billboard named her the highest-earning black musician of all time, while in 2020 she was included on Time's list of 100 women who defined the last century. So, as a consequence of being a singer, songwriter, and actress, Beyonce has certainly kicked some ass in that regard, and therefore it would be unsurprising to find that Harry's wife would want her on her programme. But funnily enough, she hasn't appeared. And that's because Beyonce, as a genuine A-lister, would want nothing at all to do with Harry's wife. Of course, you'll recall the look on her face at the Lion King premiere when she was privy to the shameless shilling of Harry and his wife. However, she recognises and will have been suitably advised, don't go anywhere near this individual. She is the albatross around the neck. She is an individual that attains her own brand, and also, quite simply, Archetypes is just plainly shit, and you don't really want to play a part in it. So, given the fact that Beyonce maintains her distance quite sensibly from this, but Harry's wife wants her involved. Harry's wife needs somebody like Beyonce to try and propel Archetypes to get back up the charts, to ensure that more people are listening, so that perhaps she might get a second series, God forbid, of Arsey Wipes. Well, if you can't get Beyonce, what could you do? Well, I suppose what you could do is get an educator and motivational speaker who has ties to Beyonce. Absolutely. Can't get Beyonce? Get somebody who knows her. That'll do. And apparently, according to the Mail Online, in an article by Claire Terrell, Harry's wife's next guest, Duchess, looks glamorous in black trousers and a trench coat as she poses with school principal, with links to Beyonce, who looks set to appear on her Archetypes podcast. No Beyonce, but somebody who knows her. That works. An educator and motivational speaker with ties to Beyonce has revealed she will appear on Harry's wife's podcast next week. Cassiopeia Moore, the principal of Campbell Hall, a well-known middle school in Los Angeles, shared the news on her Instagram account yesterday, along with a picture of her and the Duchess of Sussex. Harry's wife looked typically stylish in the candid snap. Another picture shared by Cassie on her Instagram story showed Prince Harry's wife looking relaxed and sharing a laugh with her podcast guest. Cassiopeia, who goes by Cassie, is also a director of a mentorship program at the Where Art Can Occur Theatre in North Los Angeles, which was founded by Tina Knowles Lawson and Richard Lawson, Beyonce's mother and stepfather. So they have a mentorship program that she's a director of, which takes place at a theatre which was founded by the Knowles Lawson and Lawson, who are Beyonce's mother and stepfather. So she gets there in the end, Harry's wife. She gets her connection to Beyonce. Sharing the news on her Instagram story, Cassie wrote, "See you next week, boo. It's official. We are besties." The picture showed the motivational speaker and Harry's wife laughing together with the sticker "Royally Obsessed" pasted on the snap. She didn't reveal the subject which she and Harry's wife discuss on the episode, which will be released on Spotify next week. Cassie also shared another picture of Harry's wife and her, which was possibly taken at the time of the episode's taping. Once upon a time with Harry's wife, what a reminder of the magic that lives inside all of us and how freeing it is to be true to who we are, Cassie wrote in her Instagram post. The snap showed her standing next to the Duchess of Sussex with another woman whom she did not identify. Cassie is the principal of Campbell Hall, a well-known LA middle school that counts the Olsen twins and their sister Elizabeth Olsen, Dakota, and Elle Fanning, Ariel Winter, and Troian Belisario amongst its alumni. In addition to her work as an educator, she's also a director of the mentorship program, as previously mentioned. Known for being the parents of Beyonce, Tina and Richard formed Waco in 2017, which aims to provide a space for contemporary performing and visual arts inspired by Africans. The Tina's Angels and Richard's Warriors program, of which Cassie is a director, aims to encourage the personal development of teens aged 14 to 18 through art. Cassie, who counts 11,500 followers on Instagram, has also spoken at several events on female empowerment. She also currently hosts The Time Is Now via Instagram Live and on YouTube, where she discussed a wide range of issues regarding women. Well, she evidently is a keen supporter of empowerment, which of course slots in with the types of things that Harry's wife is interested in. But what does this show us? Well, we don't know who else is going to be on the show, and I'm sure that Ms. Moore does very well as a principal and her other endeavours, and more power to her elbow. But what it does show is the fact that Harry's wife would want somebody like Beyonce on her programme, but the A-listers are staying largely well away. And that she can't get her, but she gets a school principal who has a vague link to Beyonce instead. The point of this all demonstrates the nature of her downward spiral, how those who've got genuine talent and ability have largely seen through her and are keeping well away from her. Of course, she doesn't see this. She will see this as a major coup. She will play upon the connection to Beyonce through character trait acquisition and will continue in her own deluded world, believing that Archetypes is groundbreaking in all of the issues that it talks about. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.